Hi, I'm Andrew, and in this week's video we'll be taking a look at a brand new and long-awaited G&G Armament SGR 556 AEG. Quite possibly the most feature-rich traditional AEG ever made, and it basically represents the next step in traditional AEG technology, with several aspects that frankly should be standard in all AEGs. But let's start with the externals. On first impressions, the SGR 556 is a solid, full metal M4 style AEG. Now, I say M4 style because while it looks like a typical AR pattern rifle, it's not actually a replica of any specific real M4 rifle. With these futuristic indents on the trigger and magwell and G&G markings, the SGR 556 is an entirely fictional gun, much like the ARP series, which is entirely okay. Seriously, airsoft companies should really feel more comfortable using their own designs, because if it's functional and looks cool, go for it. People will buy it. So let's start at the front. The muzzle features a very nice looking muzzle brake with some massive horizontal backward facing pores. Good thing this isn't a real rifle, as the eardrums of anyone next to you would be toast. Now, the muzzle brake is attached to the muzzle through use of a 14mm counterclockwise thread, allowing you to attach any accessories you may want later on. The front also has the rifle's unique hop-up position, which is right where the gas adjustment is. Use a large screwdriver to adjust the tactile hop-up to up to 120 different positions, ideal for heavier weight BBs. Behind it is the full-length metal M-lock railed handguard, featuring M-lock slots on the 3, 430, 6, 730 and 9 o'clock positions. On the top, we got a standard monolithic top rail with folding adjustable front and rear aperture sights, with adjustable elevation on the front and windage settings on the rear respectively. There is also an ambidextrous charging handle, which can be used to open the bolt, which is a very good function later. Over to the rear, we have a unique G&G 6-position extendable stock with 2 buttons over here and here to extend that can be used interchangeably. Now go over to a nice rubberized butt pad and pull it down to reveal a massive battery space that can fit most 11.1 volt LiPos. Best of all, unlike many other G&G guns, the SGR 556 uses Dean's connectors. Finally! Go down a bit and you have an ambidextrous standard AR pattern fire selector going from safe, semi and full auto, though it can be just a little bit stiff initially. In addition, we have an ambidextrous mag release, as well as a non-ambidextrous bolt release over here, as is standard for many AR pattern rifles. The trigger is a standard AEG blade style trigger, with a moderate pull strength and just a tiny bit of mush at the end to actuate the firing. It's not very special in all honesty, but it's perfectly functional for what it needs to do. But all that is pretty standard for any AR AEG. What does matter though is what's inside. Now, whilst the motor inside is the same G&G high torque long axis motor used on the SSG-1, the SGR 556 debuts G&G's new flagship G3 gearbox, which in many ways is the apex evolution of the decades-old standard version 2 gearbox. What we do is push this retention pin here, and you are granted with a view of a revolutionary new split gearbox design. Let's start off with the removable bolt, which not only has a quick change spring over here, but if you pull the whole assembly out, you're also greeted with a quick change barrel. You see, all you need to do is just push this tab, twist it, and then boom, the whole 6.04mm tight bore barrel and hop-up assembly comes right out, ready to be hot swapped for another without need of any tools. Now look inside the bolt where the barrel assembly was, and you'll notice an IR sensor. Yes, this gun's G3 gearbox has an empty mag cutoff, but unlike the older G2 gearbox, which used a mechanical lever that could only be actuated by proprietary G&G magazines, the empty mag cutoff on the G3 gearbox works with any standard AEG 556 magazine, such as the included G&G midcap over here, this Ares Amoeba magazine, and also this random magazine I found under the shelf. I have no idea what it is. And there you go. So what this basically does is that it'll stop firing, and once you load back in the mag, you just hit the bolt release over here, and then you can get right on firing once again. This is huge, as it corrects one of the biggest advantages of AEGs, which is dry firing, and it can be used with all your old mags too. This frankly is a feature that should have been standard on all AEGs years ago, so it's actually quite nice to see it done so well over here. But the internal features don't stop there. The SGR 556 comes with a fully programmable ETU, where you can manually set precocking, burst modes, and more. However, if you don't want to be caught in death spiral of pulling the trigger and safety all the time, the SGR 556 provides you with a handy little remote control which offers even more settings like customizable trigger angles, self-diagnostics, resetting the sector gear, or to enable or disable magazine cutoff, though why would you want that? Now for the price. At $479 US, the SGR 556 is one of the pricier G&G guns out there. Until you realize that the only AEG that comes remotely close in terms of features and performance is none other than the Systema PTW, which is at least triple the price. Even compared to standard AEGs without such features, this gun is much cheaper than most LCT AEGs, Marui NGRS series, and higher-end Ares AEGs. It really is a stunning amount of value in just one small package. So, the G&G SGR 556 is quite possibly one of the most feature-rich and advanced AEGs ever made in an EBB, and all at a surprisingly reasonable price. But how does it shoot? Let's head to the range to find out. And now for the Chrono. As usual, we'll be firing 0.2 gram BBs. And now it's time for the range test. Here we are today in X Zone, in a sort of a improvised 30-meter range in order to go and test out the G&G SGR 556. So, you know what? Without further ado, let's just get to it, shall we? Right. Range is clear. Let's go. Overall, quite impressed. You know, for an AEG, trigger is extremely snappy, very good, quick and fast follow-up shots. Sorry, I'm sort of foggy here. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed. Feels great, you know, very snappy, very ergonomic. Obviously the ergonomics come from the fact that it's an M4 AEG, but it does just feel very, very well. Accuracy, I think my shots were going a little high. I think I had the hop set a bit high, but overall the accuracy I think is pretty average for most AEGs. I think just a little bit high end there, but yeah, I have no complaints over there. And yeah, feels great. So let's go check out the results. All right, let's see this. Yeah, apologies for the setup. It's a bit improvised, but it is the right distance. So let's see, I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and oh, whoa, look at this. Here's the 10th one. That's a bit of a fly over there. Okay, for the grouping, I think we'll exclude these two because these were definitely flyers. But you know what? I'll just draw on this. I honestly say that's actually quite impressive. Around the size of my palm. Yeah, pretty decent accuracy, I gotta say. Overall, like I said, very snappy, very, very good for an AEG, you know, very sort of PTW-like, very instant trigger response, and the accuracy speaks for itself, perfectly skirmishable. Anybody that has this will definitely have an advantage on the field compared to most average AEGs. That's not even mentioning the magazine stop, which means that you know that your mag is empty and you can reload faster. So yeah, I really do like it. That's pretty impressive. Good job, G&G. Good job. Yeah, let's head back to the studio, shall we? And we're back. As you saw, the SGR 556 pretty bloody well and easily lives up to the hype. In terms of build quality and externals, it has everything you'd expect from an AR style AEG and is comfortable and functional to use. Performance-wise, it's accurate with a snappy retrigger response aided by the ability to pre-cock thanks to its ETU. Functionality-wise though, this basically blows away all the competition in terms of programming options and the ease of use thanks to its remote control. Overall, we give the G&G Armament SGR 556 a very impressive 4.5 stars out of 5. Its G3 gearbox is basically the apex evolution of the decades-old version 2 gearbox and is crammed full of options and features, to the point I don't actually know what else G&G could improve on. In fact, it would be great if they could bring the existing legacy guns to this standard, at least with a magazine cutoff, as it really does feel like the next step. So let's hand over to you guys. What are your thoughts on the G&G Armament SGR 556? Let us know in the comments section below. And for these cool products and many more, visit us at www.redwolfairsoft.com. This is Andrew, out.